welcome back to Racing Thru Radio. I'm your host, Sam Moore, and I'm here to talk to you all about what's happening over at Ransomville Speedway this past Friday night. It was a super jam-packed week on my end. Not a bad week, just a lot of running around and talking to people as always. It's hard when you get used to where everybody's parked in the pits and then a big nice event comes in and some parking spots get shuffled, so you have to relearn a few things. But it wasn't bad. It gave me an opportunity to talk to people I don't normally talk to. Get to watch the races with some new people. Round 1 of the Western region for the Sportsman Super Dirt Car Series was held at Ransomville Speedway this past Friday night, and it was Cody McPherson who would take home the feature win. Cautions were heavy, and to every racer that managed to finish, congratulations. Not a whole lot of drivers were able to, but Greenley was one of them. She's a driver I've been wanting to talk to for a while because every time I see her in the pits, she has a big smile, she's relaxed, and she's having fun.
I'm here with Greenley. You just finished your big feature. You looked really good out there. You accomplished something that a good handful of cars couldn't. You finished the race. How are you feeling after that?
I think I need a nap now. That was hot and stressful, and I almost crashed like twice.
But you didn't, and that's more than a lot of people can say. You managed to avoid a lot of major kind of cautions. You're just able to skate through, and you moved up in the race.
That's all I'm thankful for. I'm just glad I finished it. These races are hard to finish.
Greenley has a sticker on the back of her car that says, "Fueled by Mom," in big, beautiful letters. I was immediately drawn to it because anybody who knows me knows my mom is one of my best friends. So I'll never pass up an opportunity to talk about a mom who inspires her children.
I have to ask, I see your Fueled by Mom sticker on the back. May I ask what that's about?
So my mom just wanted to have a part in it, and she pays for a lot of this stuff. And Fueled by Mom is like perfect because she like pays for the gas basically. So it's just amazing that I could have both of my parents help fund for it instead of it just being my dad.
While I was sitting there watching the time trials for this Friday, I spotted something similar. Jessica Kregisch stood there, her back towards me as she watched the races. On the back of her fire suit was a beautifully embroidered patch.
One of the reasons I wanted to talk to you is you have this beautiful embroidered patch on the back of your jacket. It's powered by Mom. I would love to know the story behind that.
So my mom actually passed away 6 years ago. She was one of my biggest supporters besides my dad, my sister, and my boyfriend Brandon. She was at each and every race, no matter how she felt health-wise. She was there, and that's why the car is lettered with our family pictures inside my numbers.
So many drivers I talk to here talk to me about their dad. Very rarely do I get to hear about the inspirational moms behind the whole thing. Jessica was also just a super sick interview to do. She travels a lot.
We're going to go do some races up here in New York. I'm from Pennsylvania, so we're going to be traveling down to Pennsylvania and Ohio for some shows. We actually picked up a heat race win a couple weeks ago at Tri-City in our second night in the car, so we can't complain. So hopefully we can build on that and get something going down there.
Are you the only girl in the modified?
I am.
And how does that make you feel?
I pretty much keep a level head out on the track. I'm just another competitor with a helmet on their head out on the track, and I race everybody just as hard as they race me.
Ready to take your home from the pits to the winner's circle? Rendell Painting and Renovation Services has the crew that will get you there. One call does it all. 845-5544. Race fans, take a pit stop at the Thousand Islands Cruet for olive oils and vinegars that will bring the taste of victory right to your kitchen. Dress your salads, marinate your meats. Visit them online, thecruet.com.
While Jessica and Greenley's mom appreciation lined up very well, I was also planning to interview Steve Lewis. Jessica and Steve Lewis Jr. were both in the same division. They both run the 358 Modified division together, which was won by Gary Lindenberg this past Friday night. Watching Steve Lewis is always a fun time. I mean, he's driven in Daytona. How many drivers can say they've done that? He was able to tell me the difference between driving at Daytona and driving at dirt track Ransomville, USA.
The setup is totally different than a dirt modified. It's more, I guess I would say, like an asphalt late model or something like that, which we don't have any experience with. So it was just took a lot getting used to just setup wise and your foot to the floor the whole time. And
one of my favorite things about Steve going down to Daytona is that his whole crew is from Ransomville Speedway. Unlike a lot of drivers down there that have paid professional teams with all that fancy stuff, Steve runs his car with his community members, all volunteers that offer to help because they love watching racing and they love watching him race.
The whole group we have as my pit crew is all volunteers and friends and family from right in here in Ransomville. So a lot different than a lot of the other NASCAR teams down there. They got huge paid crew members. We don't have any. We have 0 paid crew members, and we all have full-time jobs. So we just do it for the love of it. And I would like to, make it bigger in that series and move up the ladder. But it's a very tough game, and just really having fun with what we're doing right now, and just hopefully we can keep doing what we're doing.
You've been racing for as long as I've known you existed as a person, but now what keeps you motivated into racing?
I just like the competition. In school I played 3 sports. I was always competitive, and I just like to compete, and no matter what it is, you're having a good time with your friends and your family when you're here. It's really a good, family and friend environment.
For most of their feature race, Jessica and Steve were side by side, passing back and forth, competing next to each other for their full 30 laps.
Failed start on your home improvement project? Brendel Painting and Remodeling Services are here. Let them take you to the finish line. One call does it all. 845-5544. Need a pit stop for flavor? Stop in to the Thousand Islands Cruet for olive oils and vinegars to marinate your meats and elevate your eats. Find your checkered flag flavor online at thecruet.com.
Cole Soucy would take home his first win of the season in the Sunflower Sanborn Mini Stock win, and that would be his 19th win of his career here at Ransomville Speedway. Nigel Pendowski would take his first career win in the Kevin's Carpet Cleaning Novice Sportsman feature. The Austin Wilson Memorial Demolition Derby went as well as a bunch of cars crashing into each other can go. The crowd was going wild. It wouldn't be a stretch for me to tell you that some of the crashes were definitely overshadowed by how loud the cheers were for them. And as somebody who knew Austin growing up, I can't imagine him wanting anything else. Every time I think about Austin, I vividly remember him riding up and down the streets on his bike. As he would ride up and down the streets of Wilson as fast as he could, he tucked a crushed water bottle behind the back tire so that it sounded somewhat similar to a race car. And when he didn't think that was loud enough or it wasn't giving the race car vibes he imagined, he would simply just make the engine revving noise with his mouth. Before the Demolition Derby, I reached out to Austin's sister, Chaylee. Me and her chatted a bit, and she gave me the following quote. The Demolition Derby is important for keeping Austin's memory alive. He was taken tragically at such a young age, so the Demolition Derby is a great way to keep his memory alive for years to come. Seeing family, friends, and community come together to celebrate and remember Austin is what tonight is all about. Next Friday, the Winged Warriors of the Empire Super Sprints will be in town running the Ron Lux Memorial. The Empire Super Sprints will be joined by the Sterling Lubricant Dirt Car Sportsman, Kaipo Chevrolet Street Stocks, Sunflowers of Sanborn Mini Stocks, and the Kevin Carpet Cleaning Novice Sportsman. As always, the pits will open at 5 p.m., the grandstands will open shortly after at 6 p.m., and the racing will get underway at 7:15. That brings us to the end of our show, and as always, I hope to see you at the track Friday. If I can't see you Friday, I hope to catch you back here Sunday at noon. If you're tuning in late, you missed any part of the episode, or who knows, maybe you just can't get enough of re-listening to old episodes of Racing Thru Radio, you can find the full episode listed on the WLVL website.